goes. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Everton Daily Live. It's the 6th of January. It's a sad day. Decorations down day, James.
I told me dad put it in the loft this morning. Sad.
It's a sad day.
But it looks more festive outside.
It does.
With all the snow in there. So
does. The snow could have arrived about the 23rd. That would have been ideal. Just have 3 or 4 days of a bit of a white Christmas, and then it can do one then. Everton face Wolves tomorrow. David Moyes just got his press conference at 2. It's scheduled for 2 today. So me and Pedal probably do another little live reaction after he's done it. But me and James have just jumped on now to look at the Wolves game, which is a pretty big game now for Everton, I would say. Obviously, Sunday was rubbish.
Yeah, it was really rubbish.
Rubbish. I mean, what did you make of it? We didn't hear your comments yesterday. What did you make of it?
I was so hopeful going into it because it's weird how Everton are at the minute. It's like, but it's a proper yo-yo team. Like, we'll have a great performance. Like, I don't know, like your Man United and your Forest and stuff. And then the next game will just be terrible. And it's like, there's no consistency with our performances. So going in, I was still in the mentality of we just be Forest 2-0. Why can't we kick on from this? And Brentford aren't good away from home. We're in a sort of similar position. It's a chance for us to get a bit of a gap. And then it was just like the first 10 minutes we were all right. And then that goal, and then after that, it's like we just fell apart completely. Like, couldn't really string a pass together. It just felt like everyone was a bit deflated and the whole ground was deflated already. And then half time, I was talking to my mate and I was like, you know, with Moyes and Everton in recent years, you know, we always have a bad half and then the second half will come out and we'll kick on a bit more. Yeah, so that even happened with Dyche. You know, we'd have a bad first half, but then we'd play better in the second or vice versa. And then they came out and they scored and I just looked at them and went, it's over. And 2-0, it's over. And then we couldn't even finish the conversation and then he scored again and then it was deflated after that. I stayed, but a lot of people around me didn't stay. I think if I didn't stay, Ped would fire me though. But
yeah. Wouldn't be happy with you.
It was just, I don't know, it was just so poor. It was just, we looked a shadow of what we've been recently. Like the midfield has been our strongest sort of thing against Forest. And they could, as you said yesterday, like they were struggling to like string a pass together. The defence was so like unorganised. Considering we've got 2 really defensive fullbacks and 2 sort of senior centre-halves, it was just such silly mistakes that we were making constantly, and it was very frustrating. And I think the only positive about it is that we play Wolves tomorrow, so we can turn it around quick, so you're not thinking about it for too long, and hopefully we win there. But yeah, wasn't great.
It's frustrating, isn't it? Because like you said, we have put in some good performances, and then we have followed it up with a not a great performance. I mean, I think it possibly was always going to be like that this season.
Yeah,
a bit up and down, but I think we need a steady run, don't we? But I will definitely, I think there's got to be a couple of changes tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I really do. You know, he needs to put Jake O'Brien at centre-back and then make a decision. If it's Michael Keane with Jake O'Brien, it's Michael Keane.
Yeah.
If it's James Tarkowski with Jake O'Brien, it's James Tarkowski.
Yeah.
But I think Jake O'Brien's got to play in the middle. We need to have a right-back at right-back. So put Patterson back in at right-back. Or play
like a
Mail and Roll or James Garner
yeah.
there and change the midfield. I think in midfield, if it's me, I think I'm playing Harrison Armstrong. And if it is Irabunum and Garner, then there's a flat 3. If Garner's right back, then it's Roll, Irabunum and Armstrong. Grealish on the left, Dibbling again on the right. I know he didn't play very well on Sunday, but you can't have one bad performance and that's it. He's back out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I felt it was harsh with Dibbling though as well, because there was loads of times where he'd get it, and then there's at least two in front of him. And Jake O'Brien wasn't really running up to help him, and the midfield wasn't really helping him. So it's like you had no option but to turn back and pass.
Yeah,
I think that's sort of what we've seen with Grealish, but obviously Grealish is a bit more experienced, so we can get more out of it. But you just need that sort of flying fullback to get the full potential of him. And I did feel a bit sorry for him. But I think you're right with the midfield. I don't know if it was you or Ped who said it, but you know, when Mail and Roll was playing there, and it was sort of a positive because all 3 of them can just keep switching around really if they need to. And if James Garner needs to go forward, then Mail and Roll can drop back. I think we lost that sort of dynamic when Dwight McNeil was playing there because he doesn't get back. But with an Armstrong, say if you play him in the 10 or you play him as a midfielder, I think you get that back in a way. So we've seen against Forest, didn't we? I know it works. So I think that's probably a better thing to do than play Dwight McNeil there again.
I think we've got to be competitive in it. They play 3 at the back and 5 across the middle, so we need 3 midfield players in there, in my opinion. We can't afford to have Dwight just sat in a pocket and not really moving. We've got to have 3 lads who can get about the pitch in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'd be doing. I'd be doing. Don't play O'Brien at right back, Keane and Tarkowski.
No.
Break Keane and Tarkowski up. Like I said, if it's Michael Keane, sound. If the manager thinks Keane's playing better than Tarky, play Keane.
Yeah.
But play Jake O'Brien centre back with him.
Yeah.
So that we've got a little bit of pace as well. And then mix it, because they've picked up a little bit of late, but we're going into a home game. If Wolves win 9th, we'd be saying this is a chance to win.
Yeah.
So at the bottom of the league, and he's won 1 game in 20. So we've got to forget about the fact that they've been a little bit better the last couple of weeks and go, nah, the bottom of the league for a reason.
Yeah.
They've won 1 game all season for a reason, and it's on us now to go out and make sure that we get back to winning ways, and then that'll set everyone up for Saturday then. Everton win tomorrow night. Be a tough game, of course it will. There's the way our squad is and just the way we are. We're not a free-flowing, free-scoring football team. We've got to grind victories out, but we're capable of doing it. And therefore, get past them tomorrow night. 31 points coming out the ground tomorrow night. Then you're in a real positive space for Saturday then, which will be another really tough game.
Yeah.
Sunderland, they can make 6 or 7 change. I mean, they've got 7 off to the AFCON and everyone was like, and I thought they'd struggle a little bit. They haven't.
I thought they would have fell off.
Yeah, and they haven't. So they're going to come full of energy. 7,000 are going to out-sing us because most away fans out-sing us at the minute. And therefore it's going to be a real difficult game. But going into it off the back of a win will make it a lot easier game than than if we don't beat them tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So we've got to just grind the victory out, really.
It's the frustrating bit, isn't it? It's that, like, if we did have all of our players available and we had, like, Dewsbury and Dye and stuff like that, then you go into these games way more confident.
Oh,
it's
of
just
course,
that quality of depth that we sort of lack, isn't it? And that's what's frustrating. And, obviously Sunderland, I don't think they had it, but apparently they do have that sort of quality and depth. But
because they've bought lads who are fit for purpose.
Yeah.
They've bought lads who can run around. They've got energy. Who have got intensity. The manager's done a great job there. He's got them playing a certain way. They're in it together. They're in that lovely sweet spot of getting promoted. And when you looked at it, they scrambled the way up. Coventry battered them over both games.
When didn't he lose 5 in the bounce going into that?
They were struggling. Yeah. And they were out of the game at Coventry until a terrible back pass.
Yeah.
And Coventry sort of fell on their own sword.
Yeah.
And Sunderland scraped up. Then they've done some great business in the summer, and they've got the fans. It was coming into it, and if can we stay up? A lot of them thought they wouldn't, but they were going to enjoy it. And they've been the positive results early on has kicked them on, and they're all together, and they're just going after everyone, and it's working. Now, will it dry up? Who knows? But it hasn't yet. And it's January, so that'll be a tough one. But tomorrow night is the one where we have got to sort of assert ourselves. And it'll be difficult because it will still be the same set of players. But that same set of players should have been good enough to beat Brentford on Sunday.
Yeah, I think
Brentford
so.
are a decent side, don't get me wrong, but Everton are a decent side. They're just going to be Forest.
Yeah.
They're a decent side. They're not amazing by any stretch, but they're a decent side.
Yeah.
And you've got to try and turn that to your advantage. They're a better team than Wolves. There's no question about it. But it's no point us sitting here going, yeah, they're a better team than Wolves. They've got to go and prove they're a better team than Wolves.
But
can they? That's the question.
And, I don't know, they've got something, I don't know, what would you say? They've got, like, something to return because then they beat us and knocks out the Carabao Cup. They've got to get back for that. I imagine a lot of the players who start in that will be forced to start in this one now, won't they?
If Everton can beat Wolves tomorrow night, then that's another team we've done a double over, and we don't really do that very often. As good as our away form has been, more often than not, we draw the home game or we get beat at home or whatever, do you know what I mean? So we went and done it with Forest. We went and done the double over them. So now we've got the chance to do the double over Wolves. And it'll be tough.
Yeah.
Of course it will. But, you know, this is an Everton team that they can get over the line against these.
Yeah.
You know, we'll all think going to Villa, we probably haven't got much hope. But then will it be a great defensive performance? We'll all have that in our mind at half 4 when that kicks off at Villa Park.
Yeah.
Now, we might be like that at half 6 if it's 3 or 4-0 to Villa and going, they were too good. But we'll all still have that hope. We'll all have the hope when we play Leeds and then Jai's back and Garner's back and hopefully Dewsbury-Hall's back. We'll be thinking we'll beat these, even though Leeds are better than Wolves.
Yeah.
So why aren't we going into tomorrow going, we can beat these? If the manager makes a couple of changes that he should, and gets us on the front foot, we can get past these. I don't care if it's 1-0 and a crap performance, 2-1, whatever, just get the victory. Because we're then into the 30s. Once you're into 31 points, you can't start looking up then going, we'd still be in that.
The big like cluster.
Sort of, there's a cluster of teams, isn't there? I haven't looked since we got beat at the league because it just burnt me head out.
Yeah.
But we're on 28 points.
We're 3 points off 5th.
Right. Okay. So
we're
therefore,
12th.
So therefore, we win tomorrow. We're right still in a European hunt, aren't we? Whatever that goes to. And I keep saying it, and it doesn't mean that I think that Everton are going to get Europe, but at least putting yourself in that conversation for a few months keeps the season going, doesn't it? It keeps you thinking, like, can we progress? And ultimately, we might fall well short. But it's January and we're in the European hunt at the moment. So
it's better being in this fight than the fight we've been used to the past few seasons.
Of course. So let's do it, you know what I mean? Let's make sure that we get past it. Max says this awful Wolves side have scored 4 past us this season. Well, they have, but what that means nothing, does it? Really? We beat them, didn't we? We scored 3 at Molineux in the league and should have been 9 or 10 that day. In the cup game, it was a terrible Everton performance and they still hit the bar at 1-0. They had their keepers made 2 good saves. Beto's missed the sitter. We could have got 5 or 6 that night and we were crap. We were terrible that night and we could have scored goals. You're right. We've got to be better defensively. But Mr. Fleggs, we've won 4 home games all season in the Premier League. The record's 4-2-4, which is not great, of course. And Leighton, I know they're not good enough for Europe, but that doesn't matter, does it? That makes no difference.
Yeah.
Whether they're good now. It's what if you were saying to me we're not improving the squad, this is the squad that would go into Europe next season, I'd 100% agree with you and go, how could we play in Europe? But we'll spend a lot of money again this summer to take it up to the next level. And I'm talking, I'd love us to go on the... I know, listen, if someone offered you the Champions League, it'd be amazing because the money changes your club or certainly gives you a big upsurge in everything, revenues and everything. But if Everton could get in the Conference League, even if Everton just played 6 to 8 games in the Conference League and got knocked out, it would still be well worth it. Yeah. Because again, more revenues, experience, and puts you on the positive footing for moving forward.
Well, even like just signing players. Like, wasn't it like Fafana and stuff didn't want to go to Everton because they didn't...
Well, he was still looking thinking we'd be in a relegation battle, but I wasn't sure we wouldn't be fighting relegation. Like I said, this squad right now is nowhere near the level for Europe. Of course it isn't. But with a few improvements in the summer, Crystal Palace, I've watched Palace. I don't think Palace aren't that. I watched Palace and go, they're all right. Yeah. They haven't had any bad injury. If they lost 3 players like we have, they'd struggle like anything. In fact, what are they above Everton?
Everton are above Palace, I think.
No, they're not. Are they?
I think so. I
don't think they are. I think Palace are above us. Although...
No, Palace are 14th, we're 12th.
Oh, are they? If they've gone above... Oh, we won, didn't we? Forest, and they haven't won.
We're 1 point ahead of them.
They got beat. Right, so Crystal Palace are in Europe. And are like comfortable, not pissing me. They're comfortably going to go through. Yeah. And that's what it's about, isn't it? So you're looking for that next season. But I'm talking about just being in the conversation. Like, we might not get there. He might not get there. But it'd be better to be in that conversation, wouldn't it? than what we've had over the last few years. So, Martin, I have seen it, but I believe there's nothing in it really. So, yeah. The press conference is live, Mark, at around 2:00. I have to say around because it's normally scheduled for 1:30 and it's normally 10 to 2. So
it's scheduled on Everton's YouTube now as well.
Yeah. Me and Pedal do a sort of reaction, little bonus live for you after it, if he's come out with anything. Well, I don't know, Mark, but they've got it as it's at 2:00. So I don't think they're just going to stream it. It sort of recorded it the other day and done it. I'll try and find out, but I think it's...
I'll have a look on the thing. It still says 2:00 on the YouTube, yeah. If you go on the YouTube as well, in the chat, there's one message from Gary Ward and it's Hardy.
For Everton?
Yeah, he's everywhere.
Love it. I love it. But yeah, we've got to try to just stay. Again, I keep saying it. I mean, do you agree with that? That even, forget about like whether Everton will get Europe, right? But surely it's a positive to just be even involved in a conversation, even if that involvement in the conversation ended in April.
Yeah.
We could go, well, you know what? We held in there for that long, and if we'd have had, I don't know, another left back or another centre mid, an attacking mid, or if we had another striker, whatever you look at it, we might have got over the line. At least that gives you a base to improve going forward, doesn't it?
Yeah,
so
well,
look, you know,
if you sort of you're planning your squad for like the next season, and you can go to a player and be like, we might have not achieved it, but at least we're like heading in the right direction from like the seasons that we've had. It looks way better than us saying like, oh yeah, we just survived relegation, but we all came together or whatever. But like the Fofana one, he doesn't want to come to Everton because he didn't want to fight relegation. So if you have got like a Conference League and you go, well, not saying you go far in it, but you do go far in it, then it looks way better than if you just finished, I don't know, 15th and you have nothing to play for.
Max has said, out of pure curiosity, how far do you think Everton would go in the Europa Conference League?
Should we have a look at what teams are left in it now?
I look at it and think, if we, and it doesn't work out like this, Max, so you know that you got to take this with a pinch of salt. But if Everton had mainly their best team in it, I think they get out the group stage easily. I really do. And that is like winning your own games. But Everton are quite strong away, aren't they? So you could go and win games. I think we get out the group stage.
Top of it right now is Strasbourg.
Yeah, Strasbourg are a good side, aren't they? They're not amazing, but they're a good side.
Rakow, Sketsoawa. I don't know how you pronounce that. And Athens, Prague, Vallecano, Shakhtar, Mainz, and then Lenore. That's the top 8.
Yeah.
So it's not like...
No, they're not amazing.
But it'd be... Yeah, but it'd be interesting.
They're not amazing.
Palace are 10th though.
I know, but they're going to get into the... At worst for Palace, it's the playoff. So a two-legged game. At worst.
Extra revenue, they probably want it.
More revenue. But they're going to get, let's be honest, they're going to... How many games they got left?
There's 6 now, it's 8, isn't it? No, it's 2.
I think they've got 2 games left.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how many points behind the top 8 are they?
2.
So I think they do all right. You'd need more than we've got to win it right now. But I think when we've got our best team, I think we'd give most teams a game. We give most teams a game in the Premier League. You know, I'm talking top, good sides. But I just want to be in the conversation. I want to be sat here in sort of March, April, still with a chance of getting into Europe. Even if we don't do it, it'd be disappointing, of course, because when you see something, you want it. But that is a much better and happier place to be than looking over your shoulder. Fucking hell, we need 3 points here. We've got to win. Oh my God, you can't sleep because they've just gone there and won. Do you know what I mean? You want to be looking up, don't you? And if we do that, that'll be sort of a big positive, won't it? Compared to what we are, and then we can start looking.
The comparison is the game tonight between West Ham and Forest, you don't want that game. You want the games what we have, where we're like, if we win this, we're back in the conversation.
Of course, yeah.
Because if either of them lose tonight, it's looking ropey.
Well, if West Ham, imagine if West Ham got beat tonight, you'd look and go, they're not gone, because but it's looking
7 points deep to be in the relegation zone. Then.
See, that's like all Leeds and Forest have to do then is just match West Ham, and it's over, isn't it? So, but we have to bear with. We have sort of like when you step back from it, you have to look at it and go, we have only had one summer, sort of being able to turn the squad around. And all of a sudden, we're in a mix. In January, it might again. In February, this might be irrelevant.
Yeah.
But in January, we've had one transfer window, and Everton are in the mix for a European place right now. Mm-hmm. That could, like I said, in 3 or 4 weeks, that could be we could be 8-9 points behind it, and you go, we're not making that ground up. But just right now, for the turn of the year, even with a terrible home defeat the other day, we're still sort of going, oh, okay.
Some of the defeats we've had in like the games where they've been close, you just think if it was just a little bit different, we'd be in the Champions League spot now.
We blew
Villa, Leeds, West Ham.
Yeah, I mean, you can go back through and I guess every team can do this. So again, it's probably. Oh yeah, there's only 6 in the Conference League group games.
Oh, so
so Palace are in the playoffs, so they'll get through anyway. Yeah. So yeah, I think we definitely get out of it. But anyway, if you look at the games, and every team will do this, of course, but Leeds, we were robbed of a point. The first 25 minutes, we were dreadful. Yeah. It's still our worst performance of the season. We were horrific. Yeah. But it was 0-0. In the second half, we controlled it. And obviously, Charlie had a chance to keep, made a really good save. We had, missed passes when we're in the box. We give a penalty away, which was dubious, and we wouldn't get one like that. And we haven't got one like that. They score, and even after that, Tarkowski heads one over from a yard out.
Yeah.
Which he should have equalised. So maybe we could have got an extra point there. You can then argue Brighton should have been out of sight. But, which we're looking back, of course you can. So you could go with it, but we beat Brighton. Villa, Beto's missed a hat-trick of, in my opinion, sitters. Yeah. I think most other strikers put them away. The chances he missed that day. We might have got a victory that day. Liverpool, you can go, wow, what if? But Liverpool beat us. I can't name.
Oh, but we should have been looking back at it now and like the results they went on to have. There was a chance there.
What happened? We started the opening half an hour intimidated by them, scared of them when we shouldn't have been. Give them cheap goal. I mean, don't get me wrong, they took them well, but they were letting people run off them.
Conor Bradley, how's he not got booked that game?
There's that.
Fouls he had or something, wasn't it?
But I can't really I can say we could have done better, but I'm not making a case for that because it wasn't like we missed open goals, was it? We just were thinking, City away, we've missed 2 really good chances at 0-0. Yeah. West Ham at home should have been out of sight at half time.
Yeah.
1-0 up should have been 3 or 4. Yeah. And Jai's missed 2 really good chances. Yeah. We could have put them to bed. They didn't know where they were. Then after half time, we could have killed it off straight after half time. Then they had 15 minutes where they equalised and probably should have gone ahead.
Yeah.
And then we were all over them for the last 15 and couldn't put the ball in the net. So we could, you could argue that, and then you go through it
Spurs,
like that.
We could have as well.
Spurs, though, we can go.
Beto had a good. We
were robbed at top. Well, Beto miskicked in the opening few minutes, didn't he? Yeah. But we were robbed at the equaliser. But after that, when it went 2-0, I can't make any case for that. It was done. So you can look back and go, there's points here and there. You could even argue Arsenal. Really, they controlled all the ball, but didn't really do anything. The game was won by a penalty, and we should have had a penalty. Now, Arsenal might have conceded the pen and just stepped it up and scored again at the other end. But you can look back and go, just had a penalty day.
Yeah.
Burnley, we should have had a penalty to win the game. So you can make a case, but then for all of that, you look at Sunday and go, yeah, but we were 3-0 down at home to Brentford, who haven't won the away game, and we were 4-1 down. So you'd have to just go, get back in your box. It is what it is, and it's all about tomorrow, trying to get to 31 points. Isn't it? But this is where it is, isn't it? This is where it is. Jamie Tierney says, living in Denmark but being from Toxteth, I'd love us to get into Europe just so they get a team in my neck of the woods. Yeah. Dan Dickinson, yeah, you're right. Leeds was the worst performance of the season. It was absolutely woeful. It was woeful.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
It was just like everything came a game too early, wasn't it?
It did.
It's like no one looked fit or anything.
He lost Branthwaite a few days before it.
Grealish didn't start, did he?
Grealish was sub, and it was crap. And we just let them run all over us, didn't we?
Yeah.
Fair play to them. Like, you got to give them credit. They started like right on the, and it just shows you. Everton have done that a few times. Certainly away we've done it and really got hold of the game.
Yeah.
We haven't done it so much at home. Although, I think if you had David Moyes sat here now, we'd be talking about Sunday and go, well, we started well enough on Sunday. You know, Dwight McNeil misses a good chance. You know, for him, on his left foot, that's a presentable chance. And Taki has one headed off the line by Thiago. When it's in, that drops in. We're winning one. It's a different game.
Yeah.
Of course it is, because we're ahead, but it's a different game. The chest puffed out, everyone in the stadium relaxes. Like, now, can we get the game killed off? And that's why tomorrow the first goal will be massive as well.
Yeah. It'll be cold though.
It will be cold.
Sunday was freezing.
It will be cold. But, you know, what do you do? It is this time of the year, James, what do you expect? Gary Ward says, howdy. Adam says, have you taken the decision to skip David's press conferences as they're so predictable? No, Adam, because it's on at 2 o'clock. So therefore, we'll watch it around 2. And then myself and Ped will jump back on here for half an hour and we will discuss it. So you'll get a bonus live.
And then a tier list for Premier members. 5.
I what can you say? Premier members tier list is flying. Andrew Ryan says, with regards to the atmosphere in the South Stand, I think it's all Park Enders moving in there. And the only time I heard the Park End make any noise in 15 plus years of going the game was to boo their own fans during the Arsenal walkout under Benitez. Andrew Ryan throwing bombs there. Blue Jay says, yes, we can bounce back provided the manager plays in the right positions and drops his favourites. One thing that can be said about Moyes is that he does tend to get a response after a poor result, so let's hope that happens here. On another note, can everyone please remain in their seats until the final whistle? It's becoming very noticeable how poor our home support is at times. I've noticed a number of fans from other clubs putting their 50 pence in about it. If you go in the game, support the effing team. No, one thing I do find a bit, and again, listen, everyone do their own thing, but even when we've won, I look around and it's empty at the end. I think the players have put a really good performance in. They've won the game. Mm-hmm. And they're walking around to clap the fans, and loads have gone. Yeah. And it's like, we've won.
Yeah.
Like,
enjoy it.
Well, it's not, you know, if you're a player, if we're trying to genuinely convince people that we are a big club and we're back, moving in the right direction, not back as in, but you know, we're moving in the right direction and we want to be up near the top and trying to win stuff, then we have to give that impression to the players that we're a fervent fan base, we're a noisy, we back you and all of this, and we celebrate together. Yeah. When Everton won home games at Goodison, people didn't leave. The ground was still mostly full at the final whistle, and the players went down the street end. You know, they went everywhere down the street end, and everyone's bouncing. Like, Forest was a really good performance. We won the game, and they're walking around clapping, and loads had left. And I'm thinking, if I'm a player, I'm be thinking, where have you all gone? I can kind of get it for Brentford. If I'm a player and we've been battered at home, I can kind of look and go, yeah, we've been shite. I wouldn't, I'd get off as well. When we've won, there's no excuse. Yeah. Because, trust me, right, you ain't getting anywhere fast anyway. You're not getting anywhere fast. Yeah, you go out. I went out, Spurs, Newcastle, there was no one in the stadium. At the end, no one, when the final whistle went. And I still couldn't walk down Regent Road. When I got outside, it was still a nightmare to walk. So you're leaving at that time. You're never going anywhere fast. You've gone the game. You say to me today, Baz, the game tomorrow, it'll finish at 9:30. We'll have won 4-0. But you're not leaving the ground till 10 to 10 because you're all going to be bouncing. I'll be like, sound.
Yeah.
If I get home another half an hour late, but we've won and we're bouncing at the final whistle, don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I go to the match to watch Everton win, score goals, celebrate and enjoy the night out or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Why are we leaving when we're winning?
Yeah, it's mental.
I want the players to think this crowd's unbelievable. Of course I want to play. I want opposition players to go. I want to go and play for them.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of, you see like the Tifo and stuff like that from the 1878 and sort of the reputation and idea that builds about the fans. But then they all get off as well. It's like, you can't have it, Everton look like this big club with mad fans, but then everyone leaves and you see the crowd, it's empty.
You look at the away end when we go away. And it's amazing.
Boom,
Like, it's amazing. Go away, Everton win, they're all bouncing, they're singing, it's loud, and you as a player must think, fucking hell, this is some fan base, this. And then you mustn't be able to wait to get home and there's 50,000 of us.
Yeah.
And then you look around a big stadium and loads have left. You must be thinking,
What's happened here?
do you know what I mean? Even if, and you know where it's really noticeable? In the lower south. Because in my mind, and there clearly isn't this, but in my mind, that was the Gladys Street.
Yeah.
So I was expecting berserkness in that bit because it's a standing section. Allegedly, that's what it's put in. No, but that's what it's being put in, right? And I thought that'd be berserk like the street end was. And so when we've won, the players would all be down there and everyone would be losing it and all that.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been like that. For some games, don't get me wrong, when like Palace, people were jumping over 4 rows and it was mad. It was mad.
John's nephew actually fell over.
You see what I mean? And it was mad, right? But Forest was almost like, we've won anyway, I'm getting off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It just looks weird.
I think as well, though, it doesn't know. I don't know if you've been noticing it by you, but because I get tickets in like one-off areas and just go around and I've seen tickets. There's so many empty seats everywhere now as well. Like even just for the whole, like, so I was in the hospitality bit and looked down. There was not in the hospitality, but the lower north. There was just a full row empty, and then there was like 4 seats above that was empty too.
Brentford had a big chunk of seats they hadn't sold either.
Yeah, no, I know, but this was Everton's. No. There's loads of just like little gaps of seats. I don't know if that's people. You can't sell the season tickets or if it's seat unique or whatever. But when I went to the Arsenal game, I borrowed someone's ticket and the whole row behind me was empty as well.
Yeah. That is a bit mad.
And I don't understand how can a full row be empty?
When there's 30,000 on a waiting list.
I'm on the waiting list. I'll just buy one to give me. But
it is a bit mad. But I'm talking about, you're right, but I'm just talking about people in the ground because they're in the ground.
It's like,
but where do we go?
It looks worse, way worse, because there's them gaps and then the gaps are even more people leave, so the gaps look even bigger then.
It is a little bit of it. And don't get me wrong, it's not easy to get home. I get it. But we're making the decision to go. We know the games are getting moved and they're going to continue to get moved. In fact, Sunday was the last weekend game till... I know we've got Sunderland in the FA Cup, but the last Premier League weekend fixture at Hill Dickinson till near the end of March.
That's mental, that.
So, because all the games get moved for Sky. So... no, we're not doing club call tomorrow. Fletcher, Everton are playing. And we'll be going the match. Everton Viking says, hello lads, I expect us to bounce back. We usually do under Moyes after a bad result. I think we need a big win here, to be honest. Would love Barry to get a goal and continue his scoring. We need to get Patterson back in the team and put Keane on the bench. But like I said before, if Michael Keane's fit, then the manager make a decision on him or Taki. Take one of them out and put Jake O'Brien centre back.
It's just weird that there's evidence that Tarkowski and O'Brien works well.
But there is,
so
but
like,
I think...
There's actual, like, Forest and you look at Palace and stuff like that, there's evidence that them
but
two
what
work.
I would say is, you're right. Yeah. Of course, you're right. We've had... When he went in against Palace, we won the game. When he played at Bournemouth, we kept the clean sheet. When he played at Forest, we kept the clean sheet. But he also played with Keane at St James's Park on the last day of the season. He kept the clean sheet. Yeah. So, maybe Jake O'Brien's just a good centre-back. Yeah. So get him in, and maybe Taki and Keane aren't working
They're just
anymore.
Too similar of a profile, aren't they?
So therefore, choose your poison. Pick whichever one it is. And if Keane's not fully fit, don't hang the lad out to dry. Yeah. Put him on the bench in case we need him. Yeah. Don't put him in. And then he's not up to speed. So therefore, his reactions are slightly slower because he's injured. Yeah. And then you'd see, because he was at fault for goals at the weekend. You know, I know some people don't want to hear that, and on our comments on the final word, someone told me it was Toffee's fault for the first goal because he didn't cover the near post, even though the ball went to the penalty spot. What good would it have done him standing on the near post? But anyway, but it's fine if you think, if David Moyes thinks Michael Keane's playing better than Toffee or whatever, make that call, but get O'Brien alongside whoever it is, because O'Brien is quicker than the pair of them.
Yeah.
So therefore, get him there and put a right back at right back, and let's get on the front foot, because these play 3-5-2 anyway, so it's going to be a bit of a weird game. That's why we need a flat three in midfield. It's got to be Harrison Armstrong, Irabunam and Garner. If you're not going to play Patterson because you're flapping, play Roll or Garner at right back and put the other one in midfield, and let's try and combat that. Let's get bodies around the striker, and let's give Dibbling another goal, like I said before, and say, look, come on, you've got to perform now, and let's go at them. Mark Max says, would you rather just get into the Wolves game and bounce back, or would you rather have the game postponed with snow? And non-Everton related question, what do you make of all the managing moves over the last few days? Would you rather the game just got postponed to that? It won't, because it's all thawing now and all that, but would you rather the game got postponed and rearranged in a few weeks, and we've got Skillerman back and Garner and Dewsbury Hall and 5 new signings, which we won't be making, but you know what I mean? Or would you rather just get in tomorrow and beat them, you know, be back on the
We've had so many games already. We've got such a small squad, and they're not the most prolific goal scorers, the ones who came in. So, yeah, absolutely, you'd get it rearranged, wouldn't you? And also, it's going to be freezing tonight. Well, tomorrow night.
And what do you make of Chelsea, United, Celtic? Some big jobs there available, aren't they? Well, Chelsea, although Martin O'Neill's back in till the end of the season.
Chelsea announced that Rosinier or whatever.
The Rossinia.
You're
really struggling saying his name, aren't you?
The S's and R's I struggle with.
Is that what it is? Has he been announced now?
Yeah, 6-year deal, which is mental because he's never.
But that's nonsense, because they'll just get rid of him.
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? Because I was reading
about him. He's a good coach, though. Very, very good coach.
Do you reckon it's too soon, though?
Yeah, if I was him, but he can't.
Apparently his agent and all that was saying it was too soon.
It is too soon. It's too soon because they won't give him. That club seems to just want to go through managers no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what you're doing. Like Maresca, I didn't rate him, to be fair. There, I think at a different club where maybe he can just mould it, he might be all right. I think what he had available, he didn't produce. But they're still in, like, what's the aim? The aim couldn't have been to win the league.
Yeah.
Because they didn't buy a striker.
It's weird, though, isn't it, how Chelsea work? Because you look at them and you think they're like, they're mental. But then over the past 10 years, it's only what Liverpool and City have been more successful.
Oh, they win.
And they've arguably been more successful than
they ran anyone. Like a Spanish club years ago, like a Real Madrid or something years ago, where they just changed the manager regularly and they still keep winning. And that's what they do. Yeah, they just change the manager every year or 18 months or whatever, and they still win because they've got really good players.
Yeah.
So they're a weird club. They're not
like, would you rather be, you know, the way Arsenal are now, where they haven't won anything, but obviously they're challenging for it, you can sort of see the plan that they're on, but they've won nothing? Or would you be Chelsea, where they've won everything, but they are mental?
Well, I'd be Chelsea because
that's what I mean.
We're in it to win trophies, aren't you? And ultimately, we're starved of trophies, as everyone knows. So if you said to me, well, Everton will be like a bit mad and replace the manager every year to 18 months, but they'll win a trophy nearly every year, you'd go, okay. Because managers come and go, and fans get bored of managers anyway after about 6 months. Yeah. They're looking for the next thing, no matter who they are, aren't they? So you'd probably go, I'd rather just be Chelsea and win everything. But
it's one of them, so can you really call them for being mental with money if they can afford it and they do win?
No, that's it. I'm just saying.
It's one of them, innit?
I'm saying for Rossinia, who I think is he was really good at Hull Everton. I mean, Lampard wanted him. He was desperate to get him because he had him at Derby, didn't he, as a coach? Yeah. He was desperate to get him to Everton, but he obviously wanted to be a manager. So he's done well at Hull. And then obviously he's gone off to Strasbourg, who are owned, same owners own them as own Chelsea. So I suppose his path was always there. Is it a little bit too soon? I think it is, but he might go in and make a real. He might go. He's a good coach. Mm-hmm. So if he goes in and achieves what he wants to, then he might be someone who is the Chelsea manager for 3 or 4 years. It's just that when you look at what they've done to everybody else, if he doesn't hit the ground running, I mean, they might just place him back in Strasbourg.
Yeah, that'll probably be it.
Mightn't he? They might just go,
over there.
Yeah, you're going back over there.
It's mental though, isn't it? Because have you seen sort of all the stuff about Maresca where he said like he had no control sort of the players he wanted to play, and like, the owners were having a go at him because they signed that many players and made so many promises that he physically can't keep them.
He done it with Pochettino.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I mean. So
that's what I'm saying.
He's like experienced, is he? Where
the only thing he might do, looking at it, is he might just accept that he literally is the head coach. And all he's there to, because I imagine this is what it is. Strasbourg made the decision to not buy players over 23. They took Chilwell because they're the same owners, and they've gone, we need to get him out of Chelsea. The lad wanted to play footy. No one was taking him. So they've gone, go and put him in. So they call him the granddad in Strasbourg. He's 28 or 29, right? Because they're all 21, 22, aren't they? They're all young. But he's done a really good job. But he's essentially just a coach of players. Yeah, so he's in that mode, right? Where I don't know if Maresca, having what he had at Leicester, having almost full control, he thought he might get that at Chelsea. We've heard Amarim talking about not having the control of United.
Yeah.
But if Rossini is already in the next group of coaches where he's just literally, there's players who we think are good footballers, put them together in a team. And he just goes, whatever, bring me the next one then. And I'll have a look at him. And I'll assess him. Now, is he being told who to play? That's the question.
That was what Maresca said, when it was that there was promises made to certain players that they get X amount of minutes in the contract, and he didn't want to play them because they weren't good enough or better than the other winger that they've just bought. So that was his issue. But then he's also, there was stuff saying that like his plan was to be the next Man City manager, isn't it? And now he's linked to being Pep's assistant manager again to take over when Pep goes.
Will. He probably will, because he'll have a long-term goal as well, won't he?
It's just interesting, and how they work. But it sort of is right, but it's wrong as well. Yeah,
it's mad. United are a basket case as well. No,
United do it, but they don't get trophies. No. At least Chelsea win stuff.
Yeah, and Celtic have done the right thing. I mean, Nancy, I still think I've seen him, what he done in Columbus, and he done a good job. He had them playing great footy. He might have worked had it been a pre-season he went in. If they'd have sort of appointed him at the end of May and give him all pre-season to plan it out, have a look at what he had, get them used to doing what he wanted to do without the pressure of a game, because they've had quite a few games quickly. Yeah, it might have worked out better. Throwing him in, and especially coming off the back of Martin O'Neill, I think Ped was saying it was something like 11 games he'd gone unbeaten with Celtic. Throwing him in and then losing the first 2 or 3 games, you're gonna go, hang on, we weren't getting beat. We were right in it here, and then you brought this fella in, and we're losing all of a sudden. Why did we change that when we did? And all of that. Yeah. He's on a hiding to nothing. Because no matter when he's won a couple of games on the run, everyone was waiting for him to lose the next one so they could go in. And when you get beat 3-1 in the derby by Rangers, who were a shambolic earlier on the season, they've got Danny Role, and Danny Role's gone in and done a really good job. And you've got Big Cherm. When Big Cherm's doing you, there's nothing down for you. Dave Savage says Wolves won't be an easy game. They have some high energy players which we lack. Yeah. Ian the Blue says, what's the chances of them playing the same side tomorrow? I wouldn't bet against it happening. No, I wouldn't back against it happening either. Mark says, did the Barry and Beto experiment work? Both scored, but we conceded another 3.
It worked to an extent, didn't it? It worked when Grealish started crossing it in. We got 2 goals out of it, and it's just we only had Grealish who was crossing it in. Obviously, Role's not a winger, so if you had someone like, I don't know, Diblin, or even Dwight McNeil, just because he's good at crossing, if you kept him on just to keep feeding the balls in, it would have worked. But it's not something I'd start with.
Everton Vikings said these are belter ones. So what I'm going to do is, when me and Ped come back after the press conference, I'll keep them for me and Ped, because some of them won't be, they're no good to ask James, are they? Because he can't ask James about Per Kroltrup, can we really, or Simon Davies, you know what I mean? So I'll keep them, and me and Ped will go through them. Through and Pinto says, thoughts on Promise David. He's good.
Isn't he going somewhere?
No, he hasn't gone anywhere, I don't think. He's good, right? The problem is, he's another one that you'd have to let develop a little bit. You'd have to look at Tolo Arakadari, who Wolves have got. He's 6'5", looked really good. He's coming, and I think the only goal he's got is against us in the Carabao Cup. He's a big, powerful lad. Now, he'll settle down, I think, and do all right. But he's got one goal. And if he played for us, our fans would be having a go at him. So it's not saying Promise David wouldn't be a good signing, but he'd be another one that you'd put in. Now, you might go, well, Beto's not really doing it. So sell him and get Promise David, and he'll come in and he might be similar to Beto in terms of he'll have to settle in. You won't get loads of goals from him, but he's powerful, and if he clicks, he'll do all right. You might go that way. I think putting him in with Beto and Barry, you're still getting more of the same thing. Mm-hmm. You're sort of getting someone who might or might not do it. Michael Kearney said, annoyed by the wait at metal detectors to get in. We didn't have it at Goodison, so why now? The same leave.
For?
I don't know.
What?
No idea.
I have metal in my pocket, like my keys and my
I don't
phone
mind you're trying to put extra security things in, but when it's causing big queues at all three entrances in, and you've only got 3 entrances,
then
have
you ever seen anyone stopped at them?
The odd person. It was funny though, because there was a fella behind me, and he was moaning about it. Because what happens is people come up and go, what's happening here? And then everyone starts joining, right? But the stewards stand the other side. So instead of going, right, there's 4 I think there's 3, but say there's 4. Yeah. I'm trying to think what they are. Instead of having a steward organising a line for every single one, they don't. They all stand the other side and chat.
Yeah.
Right? So therefore, it just comes into a big bottleneck, and there's people everywhere to go to 4. So people obviously are like walking, and then all of a sudden there's people being queuing, and then you're sort of faced with a pillar, and you think, well, I've got to go through the metal detector, but I'm not going back out to go right back there. So you start having to cut, people have to cut in.
Yeah.
So it causes people to go, well, hang on, I've been stood here, where are you coming from? And all that, and I get that. But on Sunday, there was a fella behind me. It was funny because he was moaning, what are they having it for? And all that. And he was moaning. He was funny. He was funny. And we got through the thing and he got stopped. And I said, you willed that. You willed that all away because you were moaning about it. And he was like, I know. And there was nothing. They went like that. I went, go ahead. I was like,
what's it for?
What's happening here then? Do you know what I mean? So it is a bit mad. And then he said the same leaving. They've stopped opening the side gate by the car park. And says, think I'm sat next to Fletcher's dad. Sounded the spit and the same vocabulary. Kept shouting the player's full name and they got the ball. Fair play. Paul Gold says, I'm expecting a comfortable win. Wolves, a shite 1 win all season. A nice 2-0 win will be lovely. A 2-0 win will be lovely. Blue Keely said, I think the fans leaving early was disgusting. Arguably when the players needed us the most. Mark Max says, I was chatting to my Sunderland mate and he thinks they may rest a few for Saturday because they've got a lot of injuries and AFCON. I know, but these other teams seem to get these players who come in and are full of energy and perform, don't they? Yeah. You know what I mean? Blue Keely said, really need that South stand leading by example for noise. I had to watch at home because I've just come out of hospital. Would hear us start singing and it'd last for 5 seconds. But everyone else has to take the mantle up as well, though. The South Stand can start it, but everyone has to carry it around the stadium, and if they don't... Know what I mean? Jez says, I just really hope we can have an exciting, spirited performance and a win against Wolves, if only to give the home fans something to cheer. When I can't ever really make home matches, I feel sorry for those put through turgid games like Sunday, and it looked absolutely Baltic. It was. Rob Davies says, if we can only win one of the next 2 games, what are you going for?
Sunderland. Okay. You want to guarantee, don't you, that you're still in the cup? You don't want to go out early in both of them. Would you pick Sunderland? I just think when we have all of our players, I feel like on our day we could give anyone a game.
Nah, I get that.
We've got like, you know, like just the individuals.
It's a difficult one though, because momentum if we got beat by Wolves.
I know, but you instantly get it back when you beat Sunderland, don't you?
Don't know. Simon Taylor says, to show how far we've come, there's a relegation 6-pointer tonight, and I don't care who wins.
I want West Ham to win. I want Forest to go down.
Forest, Leeds and West Ham in a battle would be interesting.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
And I hope Forest lose.
Harrison Darby says, I'd take Mateus Mane. Yeah, I think Everton would as well. Mike says, the grey areas in subjective calls like handballs remain. Is Everton management using its seat at the Premier League table to lobby for full transparency, such as the live broadcast of referee VAR audio? And how are we using our own internal performance data to track and report specific refereeing bias to the board? It was said captains can only approach the referees. This has been largely ignored by teams as well. Every other team surrounds the referee, and we wait for Tarkowski to come and get involved. Yeah. That's it. Instead of having 5 or 6 round them, everyone else is doing it. Why don't we do it?
You know, if someone went over to him, they'd probably get booked. It's an Everton player.
Yeah, it's true.
We got booked for taking a free kick this season.
Yeah, that is true. Froome Pinto says, promise David's good with both feet, 6'5", quick, and got 8 goals so far in the Belgian league. Think he could come in behind Barry and challenge. And also how important is a centre-back in the summer. Tarky and Keane both aging, having their moments. Can't be keeping both, can we, if we want to progress? Well, he'd like to think Brantwaite's back, wouldn't he?
Think they keep Keane for another year? I don't think they would have done. I played so much.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah,
but I do think even if Brantwaite's fit, I think that you get it should be looking towards Can O'Brien play with Brantwaite,
and then what you get like another young one to sort of take the mantle once one of them go. Without if they go.
Yeah. David says we have to give Wolves respect. They're playing a lot better the last few games. Put Patterson to right back, Jake in at centre back. Plus, we have to bring players in, if only on loan. We're down to filling your bench with 2 keepers and kids. A fast winger, fast and left right backs, and a midfielder in the summer. Sort the team out. Yeah. No, there isn't a club call, Steve, because we'll be going. Well, there's not.
There's not a club call.
I don't know. You're not going to do a club call tomorrow, are you? Head said no. Apologies. Dan W says funny's a football game. Football is a funny game. I'm still annoyed with the Brentford result, but absolutely buzzing to visit the new stadium on Saturday with my dad and brother for the first time. Boss. Jonathan Rickard says, would you look at playing role at right back if Patterson isn't fully fit? Yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah. Paul says, my next game, Sunderland. I can't go to night games just now as my wife is basically housebound just now and I have no one to sit with her. So my next game will be the 21st of March. Bloody hell. So it's all what's important though, isn't it, mate? Priorities. Your missus is your priority. Sog says, finally out of hospital, missed loads over the last couple of months. Not the same listening to commentary every game. Looking forward to seeing us in action again tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be better than the Brentford one. Yeah, glad to see you on the mend, mate. Jay says, I think I should inform everyone at Toffee TV that my real name is J26 Fairview Close Radcliffe. I know it sounds strange, but my dad thought he'd save money in future by putting his house in my name. Jay, come on. Bill says, overall, Moyes has done a good job, but he does make baffling decisions, changing a winning team to rush back a half-fit Keane, who then proceeds to stink the place out alongside Tarky. But yes, players like Tarky, Keane, Tim and Miko need to look at themselves. To me, Sunday reminded me of Newcastle. We looked spent, and when we conceded, we fell to bits. Our squad's too thin. We don't have fullbacks who can get up and down, and we try to play a high line with 2 slow centre-backs against teams with more pace and physicality. Also, we don't have pace out wide to support either winger or the physicality in midfield without Dewsbury or Roll. McNeil was a passenger, which makes Moyes' decisions with selection very odd to me. Of course, things will improve when players return, but we have to strengthen this squad if we want to finish top 10, let alone get Europe, which means a right-back and a forward this window. Moyes' management of the squad at times is questionable, but also it's so thin that the same players play game after game and end up looking dead on their feet. Correct. Everton Viking says, no player in Everton's history has been part of teams that have conceded more goals than Michael Keane. He has never been good enough for Everton. He has a good upturn in form for himself, but that's easy to do when you're at the equivalent of rock bottom. Him being individually good doesn't mean the team is. The teams do not look comfortable around him. He can be kept around the squad for a year, but he should be in the team as a last resort. Get Tarkowski and O'Brien in until Jared is back. We need to be active in the transfer window. Steve P says, now that Palace have signed Johnson, it's unlikely they'll sign Wanyeri from Arsenal. We should definitely be trying to get him on loan. Either him or Oscar Bob. City willing to let him go permanent as well. Yeah, are we bringing out this fourth kit? Heard about it for a while. Don't know. Apparently so. Jake Ablett says, when everyone's fully fit, this is Everton's strongest team. Pickford, Garner, O'Brien, Branthwaite, Michalenko, Dewsbury, All Garner, Dibbling, Grealish and Jai and Barry. Okay. Fruin says, did you guys see the Instagram comments? James did before it got removed. Yes, you have asked me about Zakaria Elowidi. Steve, yes, I have seen him. And yes, I will buy him. And Fruin says, can Harrison Armstrong make such an impact where the talks of him going back to Preston aren't on the table, as he's broke into the team and feels too good to lose? We can. He can. Can he? But it's up to him, isn't it, to go and do it. So, Construction Van for Life, thank you very much, mate, on the super chat. Says, seeing that we have signed Chimity, please say we haven't. Hope you guys are good. We haven't signed Chimity. We did sign him and sold him to Rangers. He ain't coming back. Don't you worry. So, yeah. Right, take it easy because we're going to watch David Moyes' press conference. Now, me and Ped will be back after it. So maybe around 2:30. We'll be back live for half an hour to discuss what's been said in the press conference. See you all there. Bye.